Before we begin, we have a special announcement at the very end. Please stick around to find out more information. Welcome back, everybody. In today's episode, we'll be continuing our talk with various student services that Honolulu CC offers. Our first guest today will be Carlene from the Wellness Center.
Thank you. Thanks for asking me to join on this call. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So, um, Carlene, I guess uh, a lot of people don't know the services, a lot of the services that's offered at HCC. So, could you tell us a little bit about the Wellness Center?
Sure. So the Wellness Center is located in, first of all, the admin building, Building 6. We're downstairs within admissions and records, that lobby near the ATM. That's the landmark I usually give people because to my knowledge, there's only one ATM on campus. And we're here when I say we, let me correct it. When I say we, it's really just me here. But because it's called the Wellness Center, sometimes I say we, but I provide mental health and wellness services that support the well-being and the academic and emotional growth of our students. And I'm also involved in educating the campus about mental health and wellness. So basically, if you're feeling like you need someone to talk to, you need a confidential space to do it in, Wellness Center services might be an opportunity for you.
Okay, and then what are usually some of the issues that students are facing, especially right now, this academic school year?
Well, right now, I think a lot of people are facing what a lot of the world is facing, and that would be things around anxiety, grief, depression. And I'll have to say, though, that anxiety and depression are usually present in college students' life because this is a stressful time. In someone's college journey is a stressful time. So with the increased academic demands, even the cost of going to college, some people have to juggle school and work. And there's also times where there's relationship issues, whether it be friendships, family. There's a lot of going on in addition to the kuleana or the responsibilities you have as a college student. So anxiety and depression are often present, but right now I think it's present certainly in the greater society. So there's grief too, because people may have lost loved ones, but I think most of us lost our sense of normalcy. So there's that feeling of grief. I will also say in college, some people feel lost, and that may have to do with not knowing what to do with, in the future. They have career anxieties. Maybe they don't know what to study, what major to undergo, or they started off knowing and now they don't. So they have anxiety around that. The transition is often difficult for some. And then some people have, really high expectations. So um, when there's perfectionism or high expectation and they hit a road bump, they they sometimes need support to kind of navigate that tough challenge, something new in their life.
So with the anxiety and depression and all the stress,
hmm
what can students do to help alleviate that and to help cope with that?
Okay, so one of the best things we can do to help manage stress or alleviate the feelings of anxiety is just to take the time to breathe. And when I say that, I mean like breathe deeply. Some folks get into a practice of it, like mindfulness and meditation, which is it's a good practice to have, but it's not for everyone. Um, but breathing is for everyone. We gotta do that to survive, but it also is immediate relief. So, it might take a minute to take 3 deep breaths, and you'll feel the relief after that. The other thing would be to try to be more in the present, not to worry too much about the future and not to dwell too much on the past. Um, So just having moments where you're in the present. So if you think about something you enjoy doing, something that brings you joy, something that brings you relaxation, chances are that is something that you can get lost in and like in the zone. And that's how it feels to be in the present. What else? Gratitude. Gratitude helps to relieve stress. Some people don't think of it naturally as that, but when you start to really stop and think about what is going well in your life, what you're grateful for, some of the blessings that you have, um, the stress disappears in that moment, and then overall you may have a better outlook on things. Because you folks are in college, one of the other things I would say is don't procrastinate, because when you procrastinate, you actually keep the stress around. So, for example, let me ask you guys, have you ever chosen to do something else instead of an assignment? Like you procrastinate on something to go out with your friends or to play games or watch a movie?
I've
All the
delayed.
time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's normal. But I would bet that some of the times the stress of the assignment that you're putting off is still there, and it actually takes away some of the joy of the thing that you want to do. Like you're playing the game, but you're thinking about your assignment. Well, then now you're being in the moment playing that game might not be as fun as it could be if there wasn't that procrastinated assignment in the picture. So I would say do your best not to procrastinate. Have structure, make a plan, to do your assignments, break it into small pieces, take little steps so that it doesn't become a huge assignment at any given point, but most certainly it doesn't become a huge assignment right up until the deadline, right up at the deadline.
Yeah, I do find myself procrastinating a lot of the times, but I do exactly what you said, where I do certain assignments one at a time, so that when it comes to everything being due, all I have to do is finish one or two activities. So
Right.
it's not as stressful or overwhelming at any given time.
Exactly. And that feeling of overwhelm is familiar to us, right? Especially when you're in school. So, as much as you can avoid it being that intense, try to do assignments as soon as it gets assigned. When the semester starts, I'm not sure how many people do this or have heard of this, but when you get your syllabus, start to write that in your calendar, start to already plan what's due when, what can I do now? And as much as you can front load as far as getting the assignments done, because as the semester progresses and the stress starts to mount, that you'll be glad that you took care of some things in the beginning.
Oh yeah, that's like me with my classes. I mark some important dates and I kind of keep a schedule of like, okay, in the first week or beginning of the week, I do my quizzes. In the middle of the week, I'll do my assignments. And then later in the week, I can catch up if anything.
Yeah, and having that routine helps too, right? Because it's predictable.
And you also get into the habit of doing it, so it becomes more natural as you go on.
Right. Exactly. Another thing that's good for relieving stress is to go out for a walk or do some sort of other exercise that can take your mind off things. And like, for example, if going for a hike or going to the beach or that kind of thing is your thing, that kind of activity is your thing, make sure to incorporate it into your schedule, because it's if that's your thing, it's good for your soul. Yeah.
Oh, are there any like other fun activities that students can do?
Fun. Um, and I'm not sure if I know specifically what fun activities students can do, but it's important to do something fun. So I guess fun is relative now. What somebody might think is fun to the other person, they might not think it's all that. So, but the important thing is whatever is fun to you, make sure you do that, because that's helping you to relax. That's helping you to feel that feeling of joy and happiness, which is a lot of times what's missing when people are stressed out, when people are feeling down. They feel that kind of sense is missing. So make sure that you do something fun and schedule it. Schedule in your relaxation. Schedule in your fun. Treat it like an appointment or an assignment, and honor that for yourself. Don't go crazy and put it 8 out of 10 hours in your day you're going to have fun. You want balance, but you definitely don't want to cheat yourself and not have it as part of your schedule.
So going back to uh, students getting help. So you said that it's only you at the moment. So when people meet with you, is it one-to-one most of the time, or are there times where you have group sessions or workshops?
So at the moment, it's mostly one-to-one, but we do have a group that meets every Monday. It's called Mana'o Mondays, and it's actually a cross-campus group. So students from Honolulu CC, Kapi'olani, Windward, Hawai'i CC are open to signing up. And I'm not sure how we could get the link to them, because it's not something that's easy to remember. They can either email me at hccwell, hccwell at hawaii.edu, and inquire about it. And I can share the information with them. But in this weekly group, we talk about tips and tools for stress and anxiety and some of the other like student success things, so that can help students manage, and it also helps people stay connected. The one-to-one sessions, I usually start with a consultation, just finding out kind of what it is that you would like to talk about, or what it is that you need, what kind of support you need. And then we determine from there whether it's sharing of resources, whether it's just checking in once in a while, or whether it's, okay, maybe we should do a few personal counseling sessions so you can get that support and then kind of get unstuck and move forward to being well and going where you need to go. So it really depends. And if any student feels like, even if they're just curious, I would recommend that they email me or call me at 845-9180, and we can just talk about it and see what it is that would be best for them.
So for the sessions, it's are there like a limited number of sessions, or like how many sessions are usually there for students to go?
Right. So the counseling is short term, when you get into personal counseling. So the sessions are not necessarily a limit. It's dependent on the individual and how much I guess need or crisis they might be in. But it is short term. So if it looks like someone will benefit from a longer term type of therapy, we will discuss, and I will help them find a provider in the community, so that they can get the long-term assistance that they need. What else? Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's not indefinite, but it's not necessarily like, okay, you can only come for 3 times, or you can only come for 8 times, or whatever it is. It's really based on the level of need. I also wanted just to add that the services now are provided remotely. So majority of the sessions will be via Zoom. But the consultations, and if you're just calling to ask questions, that can happen between phone and email. And also, for the month of October, I have Star Balance Express kiosk hours on Thursdays between 1 and 3. So if you log into Star Balance and you look for the Wellness Center, you'll see that if the kiosk is open, and you can come in and put in your information, and then I'll call you back or engage in a Zoom conversation, whatever you select. So that's for October. I'm going to also do it in November, but there's a chance that I'm going to switch it to Wednesdays just so that I can cover different days and different people's schedules.
And if people want to Zoom with you, what are the hours for Wellness Center?
So the Wellness Center is Monday through Friday, 8 to usually about 8 to 3 for making appointments. Of course, this is not set. I mean, that's the work hours of when I'm here, but I also have meetings and other things in between. So 8 to 3 would be for appointments on Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is as needed. I usually use Friday as a catch-up day for and leaving it open for people who cannot make the rest of the week. But you can call and email, anytime. 8 to 4:30 is when I'm here, when I'm working.
And can they schedule through Star Balance?
So Star Balance is just going to tell them to email me. So most things I try to have direct to me because of the confidentiality. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, to actually discuss counseling or anything like that, it's better to email me direct. hccwell@hawaii.edu. And then if you go to the Honolulu Community College homepage and you look for services for students, there's a drop down, yeah? And there's an entire page of all the different resources available. At the very bottom, on the right-hand side, the very last entry is the Wellness Center. If you click there, you'll see like the schedule. You'll also see the emails. And there's lots of community resources. Some of the main ones are on there as well. So students can grab a lot of information from the Wellness Center website.
Awesome. I think that was actually going to be our last question. Do you have any other advice or tips that you have for students out there, especially the new students who are facing this academic year right now?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I really want to emphasize or share with everyone is, asking for help is really important. I mean, there are lots of people here and lots of services that are willing to help, but we might not realize that you need our assistance. So ask for help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. Don't be ashamed. Just ask for the assistance. You are actually in charge of your success, but that doesn't mean you have to do it alone. So we're here to help. So please ask for the help. And then the other thing would be, be kind to yourselves. I mean, a lot of us in school have high expectations. We have goals, and that's all great. But we also are sometimes, a little bit harsh on ourselves. So be kind to yourself. Know that you're giving it your best, and your best is good enough. You're learning in school. You're gonna learn more. You're gonna use more resources, so your best keeps getting better. But just be kind to yourself. Make sure that you are taking care of yourselves, and if you need help, ask for help.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. We don't want to take away any of your more time from you.
No problem. Thanks for having me here. Take care. Don't forget to breathe.
Will do.
Okay.
Please welcome our next guest, Ms. Aina Miller Cabasam from CARE, which stands for College Achievement and Retention Experience.
Aloha. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
No
thank
problem.
you for coming. Yeah. Ms. Anna, I guess the first questions that most new students have is, what is CARE and what do they do?
That's a great question. So our program is designed to support all students on their academic journey here at HCC. We focus a lot with student support in particular, working with students on enhancing their study strategies or study skills. We talk to students about questions related to their financial aid status or questions related to their academic progress. We provide peer coaching or academic coaching where we really focus in on working closely with students in helping them develop an action plan. And that action plan is really focused on the student's goal, on what they want to accomplish for the week, right? So it's a weekly coaching session where students can either meet with peer coaches or the academic coaches, which are the CARE full-time staff. And really, it's, like I said, focused on working with the student in developing that action plan and trying to figure out how to overcome challenges that may prevent them from accomplishing their goal. That highlights some of the services that we provide students on this campus.
And do these peer coaches or academic coaches can help specific people from different majors? Like one coach can deal with architectural, another coach can deal with auto body.
Yes. So our coaches themselves, some are currently enrolled in our CTE programs, and that's our career technical education programs. We have a coach who is currently in the human services program. We've had coaches who are from MELE, AEC, early childhood, so forth. We also have students who are liberal arts and who actually have transferred over to UH Manoa, but still provide that peer coaching with our students. So it's open to anyone, any student, regardless of their major.
So, what is the biggest challenge that most students have regarding college?
Currently, with all these changes to the learning format, a lot of students that we are encountering, their biggest challenge currently is this change in instructional deliveries. So they had to make a very huge adjustment to going from face-to-face learning in the classroom to online learning. So I've worked with and spoken to a lot of students who struggle with the adjustment to online learning. And we've spoken to them about strategies, about time management, connecting with resources that can help them overcome some of the more personal challenges that they're encountering.
Yeah, I think Chris and I are still trying to adjust to this new learning format.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As a lot of students have shared that it's just not their preference for learning. They miss being in the classroom. They miss seeing their classmates or being able to interact with the instructor. So it's quite a challenge right now for them.
Can you share some of like the time management or study plans that students should use for online learning?
Oh, okay, sure. With online learning, I think the best thing for anyone to understand is being self-disciplined with the time that you have available to manage your responsibilities in school along with your responsibilities outside school. So a lot of students are not just college students, right? They work, they have a family they have to take care of, they have all these other things going on in their life. So, first thing is really how to be self disciplined so that they are able to balance all the responsibilities that they have and not feel overwhelmed. So, I talk to students about strategies really focused on examining how they spend their time each day, knowing that their courses have various expectations and deadlines. And one thing I talk to students about is kind of working backwards using a calendar system, whatever they prefer, whether it's a hard copy of a calendar and writing it down using a planner, or even using the free Google Calendar that is associated with their Hawaii.edu, and taking each course syllabus and taking a look at the deadlines for different projects, for exams, for quizzes, and input that into the calendar system of their choice. So starting from like final exams, if a final exam is listed on their course syllabus, then write the day and time that final exam will be taking place. Write down the projects that are due, when are they due, and writing that down. And then going from there. And once they've written down all the deadlines for their major projects, for their midterms, their quizzes, their finals, then I ask them to write down their other responsibilities that they have that are concrete, which means it's a scheduled responsibility that takes place each week. So, for example, some students are parents, and if they have a child who they still need to drop off at daycare, right? There is a scheduled date and time for drop off and pickup. So they can include that in their calendar. They can include doctor appointments, right? So once they write down all the events that are scheduled, that have a routine or a scheduled event that's coming up, then I ask students to also include work. And quite a few students do have work that they do each day or throughout the week, and so they write down their work schedule. Finally, I ask the student, do you have any blocks of time that are open? And usually there are blocks of times that are open for students. I ask them, how would you utilize, what's the best way for you to utilize this time that's open right now? And then we start talking about different strategies on how to make the most effective use of that time that they have, that open time. And this is where we really examine how the student uses their time, right? What type of study strategies do they incorporate so that they're not spending that time studying for, or studying in a way that is not efficient or doesn't make the best use of their time. And so we go into different strategies talking about that as well. So time management is definitely key to how successful you are in balancing your responsibilities, not just within school, but also outside school. And then once you've laid out a plan for that, or get a sense of, okay, so it seems like my weekends are open for studying. what's the most effective way for you to utilize your weekends to study when you have papers due, when you have a midterm coming up, right? And then that requires more planning, so that your time spent on studying is spread out over the week or over 2 weeks and so forth.
Great. So we don't want to take too much out of your time. So
No problem.
where could students find more information about care? And do you have any final uh, tips to students on how to be more successful this academic year?
Yeah. So we have more information on our website. So if students go to honolulu.hawaii.edu/care, we have our website with additional resources and information. We have a special section just for students on study resources that is available to anyone and that they can go to, and it has a list of a wide variety of study resources, study skill strategy resources, as well as videos, short videos on, for example, top 5 tips on online learning, how to use your Gmail and Google apps, and so forth. So it's these really quick, fun videos that we've created for students. With our current situation, unfortunately, we are not able to meet with students face to face like we used to, but we can definitely have virtual meetings through Zoom. So on our website, there is a phone number that students can call. It's 808-845-9290 to talk to a staff member to schedule a meeting or just meet over the phone. We have a department email, which is honcare@hawaii.edu. Students can also email us from there. And we now have Zoom drop-ins. So Mondays and Wednesdays from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., students can log in through their Star Balance, or rather go to our website, honolulu.hawaii.edu/care, and click on the Express Zoom drop-in, and they'll be able to connect with a care staff member. And those dates are Monday, Wednesdays, 12 to 2 p.m., Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., and Fridays by appointment. And I think my tip that I'd like to share with students is don't struggle alone. Please ask for assistance if you have questions regarding academics, if you have questions about resources and services. Feel free to contact the care office and we will get you in touch with the service or answer the questions that you may have. But don't feel like you have to struggle through this semester alone, because there are resources and support out here. Our campus has a wonderful team of services and resources that can work with students in connecting them and giving them the support that they need. Just have to ask for it. So don't be shy.
Don't be shy to reach out because they care about you.
There you go. Yes, we do. We do. We care about the students, and we don't want them to struggle and feel overwhelmed, because we have a lot of resources on campus. Even though they can't physically be here on campus, they can definitely give us a call. And we can meet over Zoom or on the phone or just communicate through email. But yeah, there are services on this campus that are here for students.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Aina, for joining us. Once
You're
again, everyone, go to honolulu.hawaii.edu/care for more information and services above care. And if you guys need help, please get help. Always get help. You never want to do anything alone, especially if it's really hard, like school.
Yeah, I mean, like school's kind of like a job, actually.
Exactly, and if you're taking like 12 credits, which is considered a full-time student, or if you're taking more than that, like we are, then help is most definitely something that everyone should try to get. Thank you to everyone who has made it this far of the podcast. Like I said, we have a special announcement. HCC's Student Activities Board is currently planning a wellness giveaway. More information will be coming soon on that. In the meantime, please fill out the HOPE survey that was sent out last week. This survey will help the campus better understand the needs and challenges that students are currently facing this academic school year. Please visit go.hawaii.edu/JD3 to complete the survey. Again, that's go.hawaii.edu/JD3. Thank you guys once again. You can listen to the Kala podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Anchor. New episodes will be uploaded every Monday. You guys can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at HCC Kala News for more campus events and information. Thank you guys once again for listening. See you all next time.